The button clicks and off we go live. Hey, everybody. Welcome in Friday night. Oh, wait, it's not Friday
It's not
night.
Friday.
It's Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Why are we meeting on a Tuesday, folks? I can't remember. What are we doing tonight?
Beats me.
Reading, right? We wanted to just sit down and read a
It's
little
reading
more.
sprints. That's right.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have my book here. Let's start.
Yeah. All right.
I'm good.
Now, everybody, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a 20-minute reading sprint. So we'll go ahead and start on our books.
This is great for Andy's watch time. So let's just settle in.
Is that a thing that YouTubers do? Like, is watch time like one of the metrics that you want?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Nice. So is it like what happens like after an hour? Like they get all these like things that go on for like an hour and 2 hours and 3 hours.
Well, I mean, basically, there's just a few metrics that you really want to pay attention to. And I think the world likes to see subscriber numbers, but subscriber numbers mean a lot less than view time. So yeah, hours viewed is great for YouTubers. So if anybody ever wants to, like, before they leave for work, just like hit play all on my channel before they head out the door, I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Just saying. Just kidding. That's cheating, right?
Just let it keep on rolling.
That's cheating.
And just in case anybody's wondering, I am so sorry to say that Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads is not going to be able to join us tonight. He is hanging out in the chat. You can say hi to him, but he has had some rotten stuff go on this week, and he is taking care of his family and his mother-in-law and his wife and making sure that they're okay, which is exactly where he should be. So we want to thank you very, very much, Andrew, for being a part of this whole thing. I myself will be representing the Ramblin' Wizards tonight. I'm pretty sure I won. Josefina, I'm so sorry to betray you at the last possible moment.
I don't even know what to say right now, Andy. Really?
He's just a figurehead. We know his heart is with you.
Just a figurehead. I'm like a puppet, right? It just dances along with all the
Andrew's puppet.
Oh, wait. Melissa has an hour and a half left in her book, so she could use a sprint. So, maybe we should go 90 minutes before we...
I might be able to finish my book in 90 minutes. Let's talk about this.
So what were the things that you did over? I mean, we had the big powwow on Friday and the sea change happened, right? All of a sudden, Madison's golden luck dissipated into the air as the Ramblin' Wizards just kind of strolled in with their magical powers. What were the things that you guys did over the course of this weekend to get your team going?
Well, I just put on my virtual door-to-door salesman pants and I messaged every single person that was on my team. And I hope it came off as super, like, it was a multi-purpose message. I was just saying, I am in the process of tallying up all these points. So if you have anything that you forgot to add or you want to, this is one thing that happened. There's a few people that they thought they had submitted 5. And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you what, I've only got 3 or 4 for you. So it was more of a follow-up to make sure that we were all on the same page. But also just to say, hey, just want to let you know that if you haven't read a novella yet, like if you have points left to redeem, and you haven't used that one yet, like, what's stopping you exactly from reading a novella right now? So I did a little bit of follow-up, is what I'm calling it, but it was probably strong arming. So thank you everyone for putting up with that. Because hoes, I gotta keep my hoes in line. And so
right. Keep your pimp hand strong.
I gotta keep my pimp hand strong, and I definitely was flexing my pimp hand yesterday. but we did good work, though. I think from my efforts, I think we scrounged up like an extra 35 points or something. So it was worth the I mean, I have a lot of background in sales, and it's not always comfortable, but sometimes you gotta flex that.
I could not believe how many points got racked up over the course of the last like 3 or 4 days. I mean, it was staggering to watch them marching in. Fina, how about you?
Well, it was, I mean, we kind of got ourselves together. Hi, you two. And what I found was fascinating was we were all talking in the chat all the time and just supporting each other. And we had a couple of people that were like, "Oh, I'm reading my last book. I'm reading my last book." And immediately the comments were then, "Stop writing and go read that book."
Go read it.
People out of the channel. But it was really great to see like how much energy like every single person in the team just put in the last minute, and it was really a team effort at the end. Like I didn't even have to do anything. Everybody was just sitting there and cheering each other on and supporting each other, strategizing together, and it was just a blast to see that happening. I mean, that was amazing.
It was really cool watching people support each other, saying, "You can do it, you can make it, you can get there."
Yeah.
Josh, how about you?
Actually, I had approach similar with Madison, but I didn't DM everybody. That would have took forever. I don't know how you did that. So last week we had more books read than Andrew's team, but we were in second place because of the reviews. So I reached out to every teammate member that hadn't submitted reviews, and we got some of those back. We got about half of those back. So I don't think our percentage is quite as high as his was. So that might hold us back a little bit today, but it was good to recoup one of those because one person was like, "I swear I submitted it, but I didn't have the link." So that helped quite a bit. But it was really cool because we have several team members that have been done for, it seems like 2 weeks, but they've been still just hanging out in the chat and saying, "Hey, everybody, get your books read, get those reviews in." And it was really supportive. So it was a good last few days to hopefully push to the finish, and we'll see where we end up, I guess.
Can we keep our chats? Like, I'm gonna miss my hoes.
Right? I said the same thing earlier. Yeah,
it's a good group, and I know this sounds so cheesy and cliche, but I was talking to some people last night, and I was like, you know what, like, these teams are like majorly rallying. Like, I don't know if we're gonna win, but like I feel like we killed it still. Like, we had such a good time. I made new friends. I read a bunch of books. I got a ton of new recommendations that weren't already on my radar, which is something I struggle with. Ideas of what to read. No, I'm just kidding. That's not a problem. But it's
you don't have nearly enough recommendations.
But I'm just like, I know it sounds cheesy, but I personally feel like I am coming out a winner because this whole thing went exactly like I wanted it to. So I'm very happy.
Now, I remember, Madison, on your first, like when we did our first little 5-minute video, you talked about the community aspect of it. And that's what I've enjoyed quite a bit, especially seeing, I mean, our team is we're far flung all over the place. We got a huge European contingent. I mean, Derry's in New Zealand, a lot of us in the States, and it's just really cool to see everybody from so many different places. And that's been just really neat, just worldwide coming together because we love to read and we love to talk about books. And that's really what it's been all about.
And to add to that, because, you know, I think we all, or a lot of us, have joined multiple readathons. This one has been the most fun, the least aggressive. You know, sometimes they get a bit nasty with comments when people go against each other. And I didn't think this was at all the case here. Like, everybody was amazing. It was just a lot of fun. Everybody had just a good tone all around that made everybody feel welcome, no matter if it was, you know, going against the teams and getting the gift game going and whatnot. So thanks, everyone. That was, I mean, all the teams, everybody who participated.
It's so true. Like, you can be competitive without being aggressive. Like, that's a fine line, and I think we nailed that because I agree. Like, the banter and the jabs and stuff, they were still like really fun and not ever like, I have my feelings hurt or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I should speak for Andrew. Since I'm Andrew. Hey, everybody. How you doing? I see my muppet mouth.
That's more Donald Duck than, no, what's the cartoon character?
Andrew's strategy for the last weekend was to do nothing because he was completely unavailable. So I think it really worked out well for him because he got tons of points turned in anyway. So I do need to hand it to Andrew's team, the Ramblin' Wizards, without Andrew being heavily involved over the course of the last couple of days, turned in a ton of books, and they really made it work.
And that says a lot about him as a leader, that he's able to step away when he needs to, and his team is still like all on board and they know what to do, and they're like willing to go the extra mile and step up for him. So yay for Andrew as a team captain, because I mean, like I said, like when your team is all together and like they know what to do when you're not there, like that's a good leader.
Well, and speaking of Madison, I do need to say that you have got one of the all-time my favorite cheerleaders on your team. I have no idea how to pronounce Praetorixon.
Okay, so I don't really know either, but I always just say Zen because it's like XYN on Zen. So please feel free to correct me on my pronunciation there. But can we just go ahead and name them like MVP of the whole readathon or something? I mean, not really, but this.
Oh, I would love to do MVPs for your team. That's a lot to ask on the fly. If you want to let that bubble.
I'll segue right now with that, because first of all, like I said, I had a great team all around, and I had several all-stars that were there present the whole time, cheering people on, just keeping the conversation going. So, I mean, I had a major cast of all-stars, but I'm going to go ahead and name it. My MVP is Zen. Every day, even days that I'm like, whoa, I got to go check my chat. Guess who's there?
Yeah.
Keeping the conversation going, being encouraging, and also like offering recommendations and tips, like showing how he's keeping things organized on their end. Like just absolutely like my right-hand man during the whole thing. So thank you, Zen. And you can be on my team anytime, like whatever the challenge is, whatever the Discord server or the game or whatever, like you can be on my team.
She was a great cheerleader.
Absolutely.
I do think that they constructed their own whip during the course of the event to keep everybody else on the team moving.
Yeah. I mean, like, are we taking
encouragement
nominations
followed
for
by
future
do it
team
now?
captains?
Yeah, I think we can make him one of them. Bo learned to master the art of trolling the other teams and distracting them from reading.
I think Bo had a lot of fun. Yep, jumping around from channel to channel, pausing.
I completely agree.
Yeah, that was my secret weapon right there.
Right? I feel like Bo talked smack from Jump Street. He was just more than happy to jump because he had the ability to jump into every single person's chat and make comments. So barbs and jabs. Oh, Andrew's advocating smacking hoes.
Well, Andrew, we had a great time, you and I. And I'm sad that you're not here tonight with the feather in your cap and your tiger coat or whatever pimps wear. But, we're representing.
And before we go, Josh, Fina, do either of you have people on your team that you want to mention for MVP candidates?
We can have multiple, right? Because
I think so. I think it's a lot to ask. Like, hey, name the number one person on your team that participated the most. Who were the people that stood out for you?
Yeah. So, same what Andrew and Madison already said. It's the entire team. Like we couldn't have done it without the entire team. So all of you are my personal MVPs. Since I have to call out names, that unfortunately that's how it is. I definitely want to call out all the ones that have been sticking around the entire time and have been incredibly supportive. And that is Kayla, of course. That is Stacy. That is Shauna. That is Aaron and his son, Gravy. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name right now.
I love Gravy.
Gravy Man Can. Oh God.
Gravy
Wow.
Man Can.
I'm mad. I want to change my username every time I hear that.
Gravy Man.
Gravy Man Can. That is Sharon, of course, was always in there in the middle of things. Then my favorite name that I'm also blanking right now. I need to be better at those spontaneous things. Masterpiece of Turkey.
Turkey cleverness.
I just had to say that name again because her
so good.
Name is just the best one.
Name.
So all of you are amazing. And then, all the people that supported us at the end, Lynn and Alex and Mona Lisa and Claudia, and I mean, everybody. Let me just rattle down the list of names, You're amazing.
Okay.
Everyone of you.
I think that it's probably time, don't you?
Well, what about Josh's MVP?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Josh.
Well,
I railroaded right past. I looked at the clock. It was 9:15. I was like, okay, let's go.
It's all good because I'm not going to mention any individuals because it's too easy to forget somebody.
It is.
I know that with
As I just did.
all the concerts that I give, if I talk to the audience and thank people, I very rarely call out individuals because it's so easy to overlook somebody. But I will just say that I appreciate all the people that maxed out their points and stuck around for the conversation.
Yep.
Because we had 6 or 7 people that did that were done like 10 days ago and kept just hanging out in the chat. And for me, that's why I have a BookTube channel in the first place. It's just because I enjoy the conversation about books. So all of those people, you know who you are. So just thank you for hanging out. And again, I hope we still get to hang out in different areas. Obviously, Keymark Discord is a big one, but I hope to keep in touch with everybody because it's been fun getting to know everybody.
Totally.
Well, yeah, and I just want to say out loud again, please, these are fantastic people, and I can't tell you how many recommendations I've gotten from the 4 team captains, and now I'm stuck with Robin Hobb, I guess. But like that's the next thing I'm reading, right? It's just like, okay, it's time. Let's go. Let's give it another shot because I haven't read that book since I was 20, right? So I need to go back there and figure it out. But yeah, it's been a pleasure being with all of you. But the point that I want to make was everybody who's been a part of this, please smash those subscribe buttons down below and continue engaging with your team captains, whether they're your team captain or not, because the 4 of you have managed to do an amazing job. And I just want to say that all total, between 120 or so people, we had 468 books read in total. I think that's amazing.
That's so good.
Awesome.
That's nuts.
So yeah, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to keeping the conversation going and doing it again and making it keep happening. So I just thank you all so much. Oh yeah. No, I haven't read. I did. I just don't remember any of it. A long time ago.
This is the perfect time. Like, there's so many people who are like very, very enthusiastically in love with Hobb right now, like in a really like authentic, like lifelong way. We're like, oh my God, we found this. Now we're in it forever. So this is the perfect time to kind of restart a Realm of the Elderlings journey. So yeah. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I feel like the Readathon was an opportunity to get to try a bunch of different things,
mm-hmm.
and then coming out of the Readathon, it's like, okay, I'm going to take a hot bath in a long book, and I'm not going to race my way through it. I'm just going to enjoy the prose, listen to what the writing has to say.
Yes, Hobb is a hot bath. Like that is a very relaxing, indulgent type of book for sure.
Yep, I will be enjoying that soak as we go. Thanks to all of you. And if I hate it, it's your fault.
You won't. You won't.
You won't.
Okay. Without further ado, we will maintain the order that we have maintained from the beginning, which means Fina, Dragon and Goose, my old team, my always team. I loved being a part of it. Now, we had our difficulties from the beginning. We had probably a higher percentage of non-participants than most of the other teams, but we fought back hard. So, Fina, take it away.
All righty. Well, I have to start with my usual stats, right? Because I'm not just throwing out a number here and move on. So, and I think Bo already mentioned that in the chat. So over the Readathon, our team submitted 104 books. That's close to what I read in a year. So that is just nuts, people. That is amazing. Out of those 104 books, we had 61 with bonus points. And I'm skipping the last number because otherwise quick math people will know the final number. We had a total of 23 people in our team actually submitting books. And by the end, we had 17 of you, 17 of the 23 submitted five books total, which is just incredible. So we have an average book submission of 4.7, which just went up like crazy over the weeks, which is, I find this amazing. And you really powered through since the last read. I mean, we have to think about it. The last check-in was on Friday, so it was not even a week. And in this half week, you have submitted, from a percentile perspective, way more points than across all the other check-ins. So that jump was significant from all of you. And with that, I'll probably get to the final points, huh? Otherwise, I'll talk till tomorrow. I mean, isn't that what anticipation is for?
I'm excited, I'll tell you that.
They're kicking me out in a second here.
You've whet my appetite. I'm drooling.
Alrighty, so 104 books submitted, 61 bonus points, 98 review submissions. So only 6 people have not, or 6 books don't have a review submitted, with a total of 263 points.
263 points.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
The turtles
big...
continue to turtle a bit faster.
Well, they picked up a lot of speed at the end.
That's amazing.
I think we were taking notes from Josh's team on the idea of increasing speed.
Yep.
The only problem with the turtle strategy is it's entirely reliant on the other guy kind of resting and going to sleep.
Yep.
All right. That's 263 for Dragons and Boots, yes?
Yes.
Wunderbar. Round the horn, Madison. How to hose.
All right, so go ahead. Were you going to say something?
I said how to hose.
Oh, them hoes showed up, okay? So I don't have quite the impressive collection of stats like Fina has, because that's not how this hoe rolls. But I did find some numbers to be kind of interesting. So by the time it was all said and done, my team submitted 123 books read, which is incredible to me. And I'd have to ask Bo specifically, because I don't actually know exactly how many people were on my team, because the number of people in the chat, because there's some mods and stuff in there as well, so that doesn't reflect the actual number. I'm not sure how many people are on my team, but I did find something kind of interesting. So I had a total of 22 people submit 5 max points. So I'm not just talking 5 books, but absolutely were strategic and maxed out their points and everything. But this is interesting to me because if 22 people turned in 5 books each, that's 110 points. We only had 123 points. So we had what looks like a lot of no-shows. So I'm looking through my spreadsheet and there's a handful of people that did 1 book or 2 books, and then a bunch of people that did none apparently. So my 22, those are, I mean, again, if you're one of the people who didn't, first of all, no one was required to do 5. If you read 2 or 3 or 4, thank you for the points. I'm glad you participated. There's no guilt there. But I'm just saying, my 22, they showed up and they did their thing. And those people really submitted towards the beginning of the challenge. And then, once you can submit your 13, you're kind of maxed out. So I thought that was interesting that out of 122 books, 110 of them were from max point people. So very, very cool. So I'll just jump straight to it. We had 123 books read, 72 bonus points, 118 reviews, and a total of 313 points.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
So again, I don't know if that's going to be enough to pull ahead of our deficit from last week, because we really did the most damage in those first couple of weeks, as we all know. But I'm so happy with that number, 313. Woo! Woo! Ric Flair for you.
So what you're saying is you got your good hose out front, and then in the back end you keep them in the back.
The stragglers, we love them. We love our stragglers, but they're not first round draft pick. That's all. That's all. Someone's got to warm the bench.
Okay, Josh, how you feeling right now, man?
Well, I saw Jane asked a question in the chat, and I was curious myself. She had asked what was each team's most read book. So I got my laptop up here, and I picked it up, and by a mile, we had 6 different people submit this book called The Legend of Blackjack. So just wanted to share that. I thought that was pretty cool. I knew it was going to be up there, but yeah. So
I call it an unfair advantage.
But pretty cool. I mean, six of our team members read it. So I don't have all my stats because I tabulated it at work, and the Post-it is still sitting on my desk back there. But we did have 20 people max out, which is great. Our number was a little different than what Bo posted. We had 2 people that actually had posted 6 books, so I had to eliminate those from our list. So we had 121 books rather than 123. Alas, we fell short of Madison's team. Our final total was 295.
So close.
295.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I gotta be honest, I was like, in my heart, I thought Josh has this. Like I'm totally buying into the we get faster as we go idea. And you did.
We did.
But right now those hoes are sitting in the lead.
They are.
I'm nervous.
Oh, Andy, come on. You can't let us wait now.
So
Hey, before you say Andrew's numbers, this question inspired me too. I also had 6 team members read The Legend of Blackjack, which was
my
also the
gosh.
most read book on our team. And then the second most read book may very well be The Tale of the Border Knights. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Seriously?
5.
Whoa.
So you came in first and second, and guess who came in third place? George R.R. Martin. You won. You won, Andy. You won. Actually,
I'll
no.
call him and let him know.
The other one, actually, somebody got 4, and that is Mr. Thiago Abdallah with A Touch of Light. 4
Nice.
people. So yeah, I am really happy about the variety. Anyway, that question sidetracked me. Andrew is probably sitting in the chat right now, being like, "Shut up! Get to my points."
Well, this seems like the perfect time to say that it's time for a word from our sponsor, LS Airs. They went out of business in 1976. Be sure to shop at LS Airs any chance you can. And you can get a chance to run into this guy who got his picture with Santa.
Crazy.
And get your dinners from the Rathskeller restaurant. Just everything you need out of German food, which is basically beer and sausage.
I just wanted to say, I highly doubt it's German. I is the German object.
It's Indiana German. It's pretty
Indiana
Indiana's 100% Scottish.
But not
or
German. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna make myself a personal challenge to use that in a sentence this week. Indiana German.
Indiana German.
Okay.
I belong to the Indiana Scottish clan. All right. Well, let's see if how much I can drag this out.
Well, I haven't shared the books yet that were read most in my team. If you want another distraction,
I do want to know.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it was not The Legend of Blackjack in the first place, but we had The Legend of Blackjack in our team, so I kind of count that as, theoretically. But Legend of Blackjack was spot number 2 with 3 people reading that, and then the most read book was Ayestis the City with 4 people read in our team, which was also a chunker with like close to 800 pages.
Oh wow.
Ooh, that is
And
nice.
besides that, it's actually a lot of onesies. There's really little Royal Assassin twice. That's kind of the next one. And otherwise, it was completely a variation of everything.
Cool.
Now, when you get to the point where Kayla's calling you out, you know you've really screwed up.
You know it's time to move on. Yeah.
She's like the most patient, kind, sweet. Get on with it! All right, the Rambling Wizards.
Quit torturing my team, he says.
117 submissions for the Rambling Wizards. That is a pile of books. Let's add a little extra bonus fun to that, because of those 117 submissions, 115 had reviews attached. That's 115 points right there. Total of 72 bonus points for the Wizards. And if you've been doing math as we go, that means that the hoes are the boss.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm so happy. We did it. We did it.
Congratulations.
I didn't think I cared so much, but I'm like
304
super happy.
points for the Wizards in total, putting them in second place, just above Red Fury. Madison, you are the winner.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Hose. We did it. Pros before hose. Thank you guys. Like, this was so fun. And I can't believe it's so funny because I go into this whole thing like, I'm not very competitive. It's just going to be for fun. And then the first taste I get of like getting the lead, I'm like, oh, we got to win. So I'm super pumped right now. This is awesome.
Well, yep. I told my team, we were having a good discussion earlier, and I said, we were happy about where we finished, wherever the chips may lie, all of that. And I just had to say that we may not have been the winning team, but I know I was on the right team.
There you go.
That's Malcolm Reynolds, if anyone watches Firefly.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Absolutely. I think you win a $10 bet for saying that, don't you?
No, Derry brought that up in the chat, and I said, I'm totally using that. I'm not convinced I was on the wrong team, but
no, and that's the exact sentiment. I meant it earlier when I'm like, I'm not sure if we can pull this off, but at the same time, like, we killed it. Like, this was so fun. So I am happy we won, but I feel like I would be like just as giddy right now if we came in second place, because in the end, the experience was the exact same.
No, it was a lot of fun, without a doubt.
I love Aaron's sentiment. At least we were consistent. Our team was the most consistent the entire time. We were fourth place the entire time. I love it.
There it is.
Very true. Very true.
That's amazing.
You know what you get.
That's like the definition of like silver lining, like finding the positive in every situation. Consistency is key. I've heard people say that. Yeah. So what is Madison going to have everyone else read? Isn't that the big question right now?
Yep.
Ooh.
I think that's a good one.
I don't even know. Is there a book on this planet that you got, all three of you haven't read, that I have read and therefore could recommend?
That's
going to be...
That's a tough one.
Did I get a gift here, or did I just get like an impossible puzzle?
I think it's more of a puzzle.
Yeah, it's going to be easy for me because I haven't read most of the very popular BookTube books, so we'll have to see.
All right, I'll start narrowing it down. It might have to be something Andrew has already DNF'd, because if I take that out of the equation, we're out of luck. So.
The question is, I think, are you going to be nice to us or are you going to be mean to us? Are you picking?
I would never make somebody read a book that I didn't think they would like.
Good.
Ever.
That makes me feel better. No outsiders. Good.
I would never. Reading is supposed to be fun, and anytime I see someone like hate reading a book or feeling obligated, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you only get so much reading time. Like, chuck that guy to the left, and like move on. Yeah. Read something good.
Tori is recommending The Outsiders.
So yeah, Tori recommended The Outsiders to me, and I felt like I was one of the few people left on the planet that didn't have to read it in high school as like a senior reading project or something. I don't know. And I read it based on her recommendation alone, and also I am familiar with the movie, and it was so good. I absolutely loved it. I love coming of age. I love that era of like 1950s, 1960s. I love a group of outsider kids who, rough around the edges, but they're lovable on the inside. I love an underdog story. I love, it's like the equation of like a perfect, oh, Madison's going to like this. So good recommendation from Tori.
I like it. And then Connor recommends you make them read War and Peace in Russian.
Well, I'm going to first learn Russian, and then I will circle back to that.
Yeah, there we go.
I think most people have. It seems like every time I talk about it, people are like, yeah, I read it when I was 15. I'm like, okay, well, I read it today.
Well, I read it today.
I loved it. I loved it.
I read it last year. I wouldn't have been able to handle it when I was 15. Jesus.
I couldn't
Oh, that's a
handle it
good
when
idea.
I was 20.
It says, can Madison request that everyone read Assassin's Fate? So they have to read the entire Realm of the Elderlings in order to get to it.
We have
Josh
2
has already
years
read it,
for
but
that.
he'll come back. Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it.
That's
If you have
brilliant.
2 years for that, sure.
Yeah, we'll meet back here in 2025 and we'll have a discussion panel about it.
So,
Josh, do you guys or Vina, do you guys have any like big exciting upcoming plans for your channel or anything we should mark our calendars for?
I don't know calendar. I do have 3 videos already ready to go because I have a really busy month with a whole bunch of travel. So we were in Texas here. I got iced in for 4 days. So I shot 3 videos and edited them last week. So, but the third one I mentioned probably on one of the previous ones, some top 10 lists. So I'm finally doing my top 10 authors and also where you can start with those authors. And when you see the thumbnail, you'll see the big question is it Stephen King or is it Robin Hobb? Because my whole life, Stephen King has been my favorite author. And the last year and a half, Robin Hobb has just been clutching at that top spot. So I'm finally taking a stance. At least when I filmed the video, I took a stance. I don't know if it was the right answer, but that's the big answer. Is it going to be Queen Hobb or Stephen King in that video? That'll be out, I think, in about a week and a half. I have also I have a dual review coming out this weekend of 2 of my favorite books by Kate Atkinson. And then I have a book haul in there too. So, yeah, that's what's up for me. They're already ready to roll. So
see,
Nice.
I'm with you step by step, Josh. I mean, I've read more King by far than any other writer, and I will go back to that well, even when he releases 7 bad books in a row.
yep.
So I'm very curious to see if I'm moving into a new era out of King and into the Queen.
She's the first author that I've asked myself truly in 30 years if King is still my favorite. Yeah, she's that good.
I just want everyone to recognize that really slick wordplay that Andy just did there. Straight from the king to the queen. Very good. Not lost.
No,
on me.
Josh set that up. He
Not
had
lost on
it
me,
all
my friend.
built in there.
Well, I'm excited to watch that video because I get it. Like, and it's funny because I've really only been reading. I read The Green Mile a long time ago, but really for the most part, I've only been reading Stephen King for the last 3 years. And
Oh, wow.
but still, well, yeah, I read 2019. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm in denial about how long ago 2019 was, but like we're not going to talk about that. But I've
A
read
long time ago
tons
for a lot of
since-
reasons.
a ton since then, and he is probably my most read author as far as like individual titles from one particular author. But yeah, it feels like it hasn't been that long, but I have read probably at this point. I mean, I probably 25 or so, maybe 30, but you know, that's a lot of books from one person.
It is. It's I counted my shelf. It was 79 volumes. Yeah,
Wow.
I did that
Is that
before the
everything?
video. Yeah, because that comes into play. Yeah, it's 79 volumes of Stephen King.
And that's probably only half of what he wrote.
No, that's everything.
That should be everything. Yeah.
That's everything. And I think the Bachman books, I don't know if I counted that as 4 or 1. I don't know. Bookish Drummer's in the chat. He would probably know that too, because he's a huge King fan.
Yeah.
Well, it's 6 Bachman books. Well, 7 technically. Bachman wrote 7.
Yeah.
And Bachman wrote 7 books.
I haven't read a lot of. I read The Long Walk. That one's Bachman, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
But I
great.
don't know if I've read any others.
That may
Actually.
be my favorite Stephen King novella other than Rita Hayworth.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bachman books are my favorites too. Yeah. Jake and I actually read this last year together. That was a lot of fun.
So, Fina, what's coming up on your channel? What are you doing in February?
I'm not that organized that Josh is.
No, I just had some free time last week.
Although I have the next 2 videos coming up, since I'm in Space Fix, so they're the reviews I do. So I have 2 reviews for 2 of our quarterfinalists coming up, the last 2 for the quarterfinalists. And then I have a couple of ideas that I just have to record and edit, and that's all fun. But I have some fun ideas for the channel to talk about like themed books and specific themes around books and which recommendations I have and those kind of things. So yeah.
Nice. Well, obviously feel free to holler out in the Discord. And I know you're already hosting a couple of read-alongs in there. Feel free. And this is true for all of you. I mean, the space is yours. You can create a readathon right now if you want to. Having you guys in there, I think, is just amazing and fantastic. And I can't wait to see, again, it's stuff that I never would have come across otherwise.
Yep.
That's the best thing about the community is seeing the recommendations.
Yeah.
Although my TBR, my goodness, I have a spreadsheet and I read 100, 120 books a year and the TBR gets bigger every year.
At one point you just have to give up. At one point you just have to accept it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I know. It's amazing because I'm looking over here. Tomorrow I'm supposed to film my like January wrap up. I'm a little late with that, but it doesn't matter. But I'm looking at my stack of books that I read in January, and what's amazing to me, and this is the whole point, like this is what I love about this, is that half of them were not on my radar in December. I love that. Like, and I had an incredible month. Like, I didn't read a single bad book, not one. So, like, this is the point, you guys, is like having plans because it's fun. Like, it's fun to make lists and it's fun to think ahead about the future and stuff and like be excited for things that you're excited for. But it's also like exposing yourself to new stuff and then saying yes sometimes. Like, I don't know. I love that.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like my feeling on the TBR has always been it's like a recommendation. It's a thought toward what I might be reading next. But when I got done with the readathon, it was just like, what do I want to read?
Yeah.
Okay, Hob, because I'm
That's
ready
really
for
the
Hob
way
now.
it is, yep.
Right? It's not logical. It's purely emotional for me.
So Andy, what's coming up for you? I know you have a couple of interviews planned.
Yes. Now that the readathon is over, I've got all of these indie authors and I don't know how to interview all of them. So I'm going to do speed dating, and I'm just going to do like 20-minute interviews stacked on top of each other for an hour or 2 hours where we just do 20 minutes because the book is the book. To me, the author is the thing that's interesting. It's like, who are you? Where did you come from? What do you like? What made you start doing this?
It's
How
so
dare
true.
you?
It's so true. Well, and it's true because so I watched Andrew's review of The Legend of Blackjack, which big shout out to Andrew because he brings so many eyes to books that I love his channel and I think he does amazing book reviews. That is a hard skill, you guys, for everyone out there that does not make videos. Book reviews are a little more difficult than you might think, and Andrew's just the king of it. He's so good. So I watched The Legend of Blackjack and immediately I was like, oh, I'm reading this. Like, he sold me. But then 10 seconds later, the next day maybe, I watched an interview that I think it was on Andrew's channel, and then Andy was there. And I was like, that's the same author he was just talking about in that interview or that review. And I was just like, I like this guy. This is the kind of guy you want to see succeed. This is the kind of guy that you would want to have a conversation with. There are all kinds of people out there, but you just really want your friends to catch a break. And it's immediately I was watching this interview and I was like, this guy's my friend. I already know it. He's my friend. And that sealed the deal. So I love that you're shining a light on and giving a platform for people to express their personalities and let their potential fans get to know them, because it does make a difference, because there's too many books, not enough time. We say it all the time. And so when it comes down to needing to make hard choices, personality goes a long way. So if you're an indie author, please put yourself out there, get to know people, go on these interviews, because it really does work. Because every indie book I read so far has been because I liked the person. And it wasn't like a pity thing, oh, I'll throw you a bone because you're my friend. But I'm like, the book sounds good and I want to see this person succeed. And so I'm absolutely going to read it. So I love these indie author interviews.
Well, and for me, it absolutely comes from a place of necessity. Once I started realizing I wanted to interview all these people, but there was no way I was going to be able to read all these books.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how do I interview them without necessarily having read the book? It's like, okay, let's do speed dating.
I love that. I think it's a really cool idea.
There we go. Speed
I just want to
dating
make
lady.
one plug tonight. Tomorrow night, which will be Wednesday, I'm going on Tori's channel on Tori Talks, and we're just gonna hang out like two best friends hanging out, I think. So everyone, no matter what team you're on, should definitely hang out with us because I think it's gonna be really fun.
Are both of you wearing beanies?
You just spoiled my surprise for Tori. I was gonna wear a beanie. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna show up with my beanie.
Tori, you need to wear crystals in your bra. You can do cross
Tori
math.
will wear crystals in her bra, and I'll wear a beanie.
The other thing that I wanted to say too is, and I'm going to end with the important thing last. Like you said, the number of people that read Blackjack during the course of this was amazing. So I just need to say, Sundrop Reads in Here There Be Stories, Alex Arch, Bob G, Saros, Ashley G, One Old Geek, Bengus Khan, Aaron, Jen the Bookworm, Pat Sava, Mina, Medic 981. I cannot believe this many people read the book. I'm so relieved that most of you liked it. But thank you very much. And the other thing I want to say is Fina. Thank you very much for reading it. I'm glad you didn't just absolutely despise it, but I joined Dragons and Boots because out of everybody, I knew you the least. And I am so happy that I've gotten the opportunity to get to know you better over the course of this because you are delightful. And, and I am proud to call you my captain.
Thank you. And all back to you likewise. I'm so glad we had the chance to get to know each other and hang out in reading sprints, and that I was your first reading sprint. Oh, now it gets weird again. Okay, we'll just move on.
You were my first. Can we also give a shout out to Bo?
Yes.
I know you're probably planning on that, but not only did he do so much work for everybody, but like I'm a hot mess, and he really babysat me and kept me in line. So thank you, Bo.
Oh, Chiago finally joined us. Isn't that nice?
Thanks for not submitting a book. I'll remember
Tiago,
that.
Earlier I mentioned that other than Andy, more people on my team read your books than any other author, even above George R.R. Martin. So you could put that, maybe you could put that on your next cover, like a little snippet, a little quote. More people, parentheses, in the Key Mark Readathon, read my book than George R.R. Martin. I think it could sell a few.
I'll put it in as a quote. You can quote me on the bottom of it. It'll be genuine. But I need to say out loud with my face hole that none of this works without Bo. He is the wizard behind the curtain. He is the man behind the scenes. He makes it go. There is no way that I could put this together. It would run like a car with 3 flat tires and everybody would hate me. So, Bo, everything you do for us, thank you.
Yes, we see you. Like, we recognize. And to me, I'm like, I've been involved in a lot of other Discords, but not just Discords, like big Facebook groups and like big projects that coordinate a lot of people online. I've been doing this type of thing for a long time, and I've never seen better. I've never seen it more smoothly executed, and that's Bo, you guys. That was awesome.
And according to Jane, Bo came in to throw shade at us every day.
That was Bo being a great team member. So
it really was.
So maybe Bo should be top hoe. I don't know.
He could be honorary hoe. Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah, what did we win? Let's talk about my prizes.
Yes. Okay. So I talked with Bo earlier today. He said it's picking out prizes and everything is going to be a little tough. Now, everybody remember, Andrew's team, Josh's team, Fina's team, all of you are going to be in the drawing for one of the gift cards, $25 from Amazon. Madison's team, the hoes get paid 3 times.
These hoes got to get paid, okay?
Yeah, so Bo is going to do random generator. and he's going to double check with you, Madison, to make
Okay.
sure that we're giving an award to people that participated.
Yes.
And not just because they were on the list. That was always something that we talked
Yeah,
about.
so
early.
as we know, I got a few no-shows, but
Yeah,
we'll make
couple.
sure that everyone in the pool who participated is in the pool. Yeah.
Yep. And so we will we'll get in touch with Madison and go through that and make sure that everything's cool, and then we'll announce that once it's ready to go, and that'll take care of the prizes. I cannot wait to see what everybody gets. And the other thing too, you know, keeping in theme with the idea of let's keep going, I would love to see what the people who win the gift cards buy with the gift cards. Well, we can only hope books. Oh, all right.
That's what I would buy, books.
Did we thank all the authors already for all the stuff that they give away? Sorry if I blanked on that, if that happened. If not,
We thanked them in the Discord, but if you'd like to go ahead and do it here, that'd be great. I'm not going to go through that whole list. That was
oh
amazing.
no, gosh, I don't even remember the entire list. But Bo had the number earlier at one point, like 170 authors, 120
Like
authors. I
140.
don't know.
It was,
We had
yeah, it
120 giveaways. It was a crazy, rich, high
Yeah.
number.
yeah.
Rich too. So thank you for all the authors for giving away audiobooks, ebooks, paperbacks across the world. That's what I also love to see, that it was not just US, but across the world people could win books. So thank you so much for that. And I hope everybody enjoys reading those, all the winners. Enjoy those.
Yeah, I
books.
was shocked at how generous we were able to be with the giveaways, because I mean, so many authors provided prize books, but we were making it rain. I thought that was just so fun, because everyone had a chance to grab something as long as you click to participate. Even I won a prize. I was like, I don't need a prize. I'm a team leader, but I got it anyway. So I really wanted it. Okay.
Which one did you get?
I felt no
I got-
shame
I
in
got
collecting
Wistful
my prize
City.
of gunmetal gods.
Nice.
Oh, I'm reading that right now. That is very good. Which one, Medicine? Sorry.
I
didn't
got
hear you.
Wistful Ascending by J.C.M. Byrne.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm pretty excited for it. So
Yeah, I think you'll come away from Wistful with a smile on your face.
good. That
Thanks,
means
Bo.
that's my expectation, is to have fun with it. So yeah, when's the next readathon? Great question. Hey, but you know what? Like, I would love the idea of this being annual or whatever, but we should just brainstorm another type of project for, you know, maybe next quarter we'll do something different. I don't know.
So we're going to take a month break and let everybody breathe a little bit. And then there is an event that will be announced at the beginning of March that I think everybody's going to like, and that I think is going to be something that everybody will appreciate, because the current title on it is TBR Busters. And so the whole goal is to knock a couple books off your TBR and pick the ones that you actually want to read and get those done, especially the ones that have been sitting on there gathering dust for a long time.
Excellent.
So that will be coming in March. And Madison, as winner of this event, you will have the opportunity to participate in that event or establish your own event further down the line. Congratulations to you and everything that you've accomplished.
Thank you. And thank you to my team, the real winners, because like everyone else, I contributed 13 points. So I really cannot, I mean, I can't take the credit because I was a 13-pointer. So shout out to all the other 13-pointers and the 5-pointers and the 1-pointers and the 6-pointers. Like, this was just pure fun. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, it was a great time. Thank you all for participating. Everybody keep on chatting in the Discord, share the books that you're reading, and follow these captains. They are magnificent people, and your life is going to be better and more fulfilling for having them in your life. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time around.
Good night.
Nice.